What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Today is Monday. It is now 6:14 p.m. here in the great nation of Texas, and glad to have y'all here. Let's go ahead and get the Instagram going live as well. All right, that's up and popping. Cool beans. I hope everybody's doing well out there today, man. It's been a testing month of October. Oh, October. Damn, I'm all the way in October already. The month of August. Thank goodness it's over. We're now in September. Hopefully hopefully we'll get rid of all this nasty weather out here. And yeah. What's cracking out there? What's going on, 818? What's going on, Cruz? What's going on? How y'all doing out here? Appreciate y'all being here, man. Just another day, another dollar out here in the great state of San Antonio. Great state, great city of San Antonio. As you can see, I'm still barely waking up, man. I caught a crud earlier. I don't know what it was. I think my daughter got us all sick here today, and well, not today, the last couple of days, but today it finally hit me. I had a fucking massive migraine like around lunchtime. Took me a nap, and now I'm here. So, what's the word, Mockingbird? How are we doing? Let's see. To the rear of the piece, fall in. Oh, hail to the nah. On the Instagram, I'm being told to the rear of the piece, fall in. For those that don't know what that means, that is a field artillery term that you never, ever want to hear. What's going on, Kramer? How you doing today? To the rear of the piece means you fucked up and you shot up a Walmart. Fucking, you round landed in Walmart parking lots. Shout out to y'all coming in over here. Make sure you tap the like. Make sure let some people know that I'm up here and just chilling, just big and bad bean boo blood. Honestly, I just jumped on because I'm pretty much bored right now. To be honest, I'm trying to stay away from the news because it's pretty fucking depressing. I'll be honest, and I was hoping that maybe you guys could tell me something positive that's going on out in your neck of the woods. What's cracking out there? The only thing positive out here is that it's raining. That's one thing I'm actually happy about. That we got some rain out here in San Antonio finally, because it's been hotter than a fucking. Let's just say I was sweating a lot and inside of my house, and I keep my house at 70 fucking degrees, y'all. I don't even look at the AC bill. I don't, because I don't want to be what's the word I'm looking for? Depressed about how high that shit is. So let's see what's going on right here. We are live. You know what? That is a positive thing right there for sure. 818. Being alive is always good. Any day above ground. We start our bowling league Wednesday night this week for 42 weeks. God damn. That's what's up. Let's see. You have solar? No, I don't. I wish I would have fucking had solar when I was fucking well, at the same time, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, funny you asked something like that. When I was in Job Corps back in 1995, I took not just my GED courses, but I also took a course in solar installation. But the solar that I was installing was for solar water heating, and I really should have stuck with it because I could have had my own business by now. I'm pretty sure of it, and been making some nice bank out here, especially like out here in Texas. But unfortunately, my dumb ass fell in love at the moment and ended up moving away to Ohio, thinking I had found the love of my life. And nope. That shit went south. Bad. But anyways, what's cracking on y'all's end, man? I see we got a couple people here in the Instagram. Hello, how y'all doing out in the world of the Instagram? If you're watching me on Instagram and you haven't done so yet, do me a solid. Hit YouTube and look up On the Gunline Podcast and subscribe right there, y'all. Go subscribe. Make sure you like and comment, and let's just chill. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I saw Kramer had put up here, about a blitz. I would rather hear blitz. I would love to hear blitz any other day, baby. Let's see. What do we got here? Roofing is a good job in Cali. Hell yeah, it is. Roofing is a good job anywhere, dog. Roofing is definitely the way to go. Especially as long as you're not a ginger, I think you'd be good, man. Roofing makes a lot of fucking money. And I mean, it's a lot of fucking work though. I mean, you gotta bust your ass. Nowadays it's made it a lot easier. When I was younger, I used to work with my dad who was in construction. And we just had a hammer, nails, and fucking rolling up that the shingles. He was su madre. That was tough, man. I would not want to do that shit ever again. Now I see these cats. I seen these fools come and do a whole roof in half a fucking day. You know what I'm saying? They are some hard working maggot farmers. And they go up there and just strip down everything, put it all up, and they're done. They come at 8 in the morning, they're done by noon. It's fucking crazy. San Antonio is known for its gun tubers, huh? Gun tubers? Thus explain. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that one. I don't know what you mean by that one, ghetto. In the ghetto. Let's see. Roofing is definitely good, just real hot in the summer and slow in the rain. Facts. That is facts. I do not want to do that shit. Hey, all those roofers out there doing that hard ass work, a shout out to y'all, man. That shit is rough out there. Let's see. Where is your family originally from? Your Spanish is good. My family is originally from, my dad is from El Salvador. My mom is from Nicaragua. My first language was Spanish. I was born in LA. And I didn't learn English until maybe when I hit kindergarten because, we didn't get to go out much. So I just spoke Spanish. And from there, we ended up just hanging out. I mean, that's why I learned it, and luckily, I stuck with my Spanish because my parents never learned English. They tried, but oh my god, my parents' English. If you heard them speak English, it'd be easier for you to learn Spanish, bro. It's just rough, man. But yeah, and luckily, I got the opportunity to go visit El Salvador and Nicaragua. I went to Nicaragua twice in my life, to go visit. Once in like I want to say it was 88 or 89. And then the second time I went was in 94, no, 93, 94, somewhere around there. And then in El Salvador, I always say that I was, what's the word I'm looking for? I always say that I was deported when I was 16 to El Salvador because my parents sent me to go live out there. And I lived in El Salvador for 1 year, which maybe one day I'll touch on that. You know what I mean? It was 1994. El Salvador was just reconstructing from a crazy ass civil war that they had. And it was pretty ruthless. We got 9 people inside the building here right now. I appreciate y'all. Do me a favor and slap that like button, man. Hit the like button. Let the algorithm know that we got some people out here. Zellman, all these storms up in Iowa have been beating up roofs and siding like crazy. Yo, I'll tell you what, I remember in Iowa, what was it, a couple of years ago, you guys had what was called a derecho. And that shit, this is back when I used to work in I used to work at Nationwide Insurance as in claims. I didn't do the adjustment, I was in claims. However, they had this derecho that went through, and it basically, for those that don't know what it is, think of it as just like a hurricane that just blows straight through the fucking state, and it demolished everything. It just like one swoop, just it was fucking crazy, man. We had to take claims for that. It was really horrible. A lot of people lost a lot of fucking property out there. A lot of their crops. It was pretty fucked up because Iowa, man, is one of those states that they put in work to make this country survive, man. And Des Moines was seriously one of the places I was thinking about relocating to had I been able to find a different type of what I'm looking for, career. You know what I mean? Because Des Moines looks so nice, man. So Zane Cruz, gun YouTube channels probably. Oh, I'm not sure if that's what he meant. Let's see. I suspected a Central America accent. My dad is from Sonsonate. Orale. My dad grew up in Sonsonate. I lived in Sonsonate for about 2 months. I actually had a job out there in 94. For those that don't know, Sonsonate is right at the beach. It's the coastline in El Salvador. And it's hot, it's humid. And I was working out there making $3 a day, the equivalent of $3 a day. All right. Close to going towards Acajutla, which is the one of the ports out there, one of the main ports in El Salvador. Sonsonate is nice, man. Well, it was nice. Nowadays, I don't know what it's like, man, to be honest. But when I was there back in '94, it was not bad, man. let's see, 94, the war was either just ending or had just ended. Yeah, the war had just ended, bro. And you could still see the um the damage that was done out there. You can still see how people were suffering from it and trying to rebuild from it. It was definitely a very trying time for those people, trying to reclaim their property, trying to move back in, trying to start a new life, especially after the decades long civil war where you had, the government fighting the guerrillas. And by the way, it's guerrillas, not gorillas. Guerrillas is a Spanish word, guerrillas. So it was crazy, dude. It was really crazy back then. Damn. So they vacationed you in Nicaragua, but deported you to El Salvador. What's up with people getting deported to El Salvador? Well, if you grew up in a Central American household, you would have heard, te voy a mandar de regreso a mi país. I'm gonna send you to my country. And my parents, they kept up with it, but unfortunately, I was still in the mentality that I had back in those days, which was, involving. It was involved in just doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? Just doing dumb shit. And I had one foot in the grave and one foot in prison. And I had an awakening, I guess you could say, one day when I said, you know what, I need to get the fuck up out of LA. And that was in 2001. 1 month later, I was on a Greyhound bus on my way to Miami. So that's when I decided to make my life change. Yeah, these deratials are straight line winds like hurricanes, just without flooding. Exactly, man. And that shit tripped me out because it didn't get a lot of publicity on the news as it should have. You know what I mean? It sucks to me that you guys, they went through so much there and you really didn't hear much about it. You'll hear about when hurricanes are hitting like Louisiana, Florida, even the Gulf Coast of Texas, but you never hear anything that's happening out there, in the Midwest when they're affected. And that's our heartland, man. That's where they're growing our crops, our wheat, our corn, 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 corn. So shout out to Iowa, man. Beautiful place. Let's see. Kramer, what do you got to say? Chief, since you Texas better keep an eye on that storm in the islands because we are LOL, don't need a cat fight repeat. Man, if we the thing is I'm so far up in Texas, I'm like in central Texas. I'm in San Antonio, bro. So if anything, we'll just get the feeder bands as they're called. You'll get the wind, not a lot of rain. The fucked up thing about San Antonio is though that there's a lot of places that the water doesn't sink in or seep in, so it floods, dude. Like they have these signs all over the place posted, like um, what is turn around, don't drown. So if you see a street flooded, turn around, don't drown. Some people don't believe that shit, dog. And guess what? They end up trying to cross what they think is a little creek, and there they go, floating on down. Dumb motherfuckers. That's just Darwinism taking care of what needs to take care of, y'all. We got come on, hit some like buttons, man. If y'all haven't hit that like, I need y'all to hit that like button. I haven't been yet, but I hear is a lot of cocos in Sonsonate. My brother in Christ, 818. We had a finca. Well, we have a finca, I should say, in the town of Tenancingo out there in El Salvador. All right. That's in central, it's in Cuscatlan, in the department of Cuscatlan. And on our finca, we had coconut trees surrounding our home, all along our property. I'm talking about at least, at the very least, 50 coconut trees. And my dad would go out there with his pistol to shoot the fucking squirrels that were trying to eat the goddamn coconuts. But my dad can't aim, so when he was aiming, he was shooting the fucking coconuts, and all the leche de coco just or agua de coco just fucking dropped, dude. That motherfucker, man. I'm West Des Moines these days. It's nice, but Iowa isn't what it was. Oh, really? Damn, that shit's crazy, Zellman. I mean, I trip out again. Like, I mean, of course, any city, any big city is gonna have its areas or pockets that are not the greatest, but it's still compared to your bigger cities, it's got to be a little bit more livable or attractive than other states and other cities. A friend of mine is from Lago de Coatepeque, He has shown me his military pictures. They were young, fighting against the guerrilla. So that's crazy. The people that I knew were where I went to live at in Tenancingo. That was a guerrilla strong point. Like you could look up like este Batalla de Tenancingo, and it was rough. There was like a massacre there too in Tenancingo, but so a lot of the cats that I knew, they talked to me regarding their point of view of the war and as to why the war kicked off. And if I'm not mistaken, the war totally all kicked off. Hey, there goes my axolotl back there. Y'all see Sal over there? You know what? Tomorrow I'll do a video about me feeding those little motherfuckers, man. I got Sal and Manny, different tanks. I had to put them on different tanks because they kill each other, but or eat each other. But yeah, man. But then Tenancingo was beautiful. I loved it out there. It took me a bit to adapt to living in a small, puny little town where everybody knows everybody. But I adapted pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I did bring some of my mentality, my street mentality, back over there to El Salvador. And this was at the time of the deportations that were happening. So, there was it was just crazy, man. I'll just say that it was just crazy. So let's see. Anti-Ghetto says for real, for real, for real, big dog. Let's see. Zane Cruz. So did you touch down in El Salvador, Pepe style? Like, this is the sur. I'll say this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right. I've mentioned that I have a bit of a past. All right. My first day of school, because I'll tell you this: the education system in El Salvador is not like the U.S. When I got to school in El Salvador, I was supposed to be in the 11th grade here in the U.S. I got sent back to the ninth grade because I wasn't up there with the math. These motherfuckers are really hyper focused on mathematics. You will stay in the sixth grade and never graduate if they don't advance you because of your age. You know what I mean? So, but I did go up there and I wrote on a chalkboard, certain things that said, you know, certain type of graffiti. You know what I mean? I'll say that. And so people knew who I was, what I was doing, and it was just stupid. Again, I was young and dumb back then. I was 16 years old, thinking I was this hardcore little fool, but I wasn't shit, man. Shit, remember when we were in the field and Katrina hit? Palfy. Yes, I do remember when Katrina hit out there. We were out in the field. We got fucking pounded, no diddy, by rain, hard fucking core, man. And it was pretty fucking especially being in a mechanized unit, it sucked because it's muddy. Oh shit, man, that shit sucked balls. Robert Smith asks AK-47 or AR-15. Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Let's see. Well, because I'm more comfortable with the AR-15. Well, not AR-15, but the M4, which is basically AR-15 military version. I would say AR-15, but I would love an AK. AKs are, I mean, you got a bigger round, you got a 7.62 round, you know it's going to definitely put power, it's going to hit, and it's going to knock a motherfucker down. With the 5.56, there's still an opportunity for the person to survive the shot. Because here's the thing, I don't understand why people don't look, if you're going to shoot at somebody, you're not shooting to disable, you're shooting to kill. You know what I mean? At least that's my point of view. I'm shooting center mass, center mass. That's what I'm shooting. A lot of fools want to get that headshot. Nah, center mass. I want to hit those vital organs. I want to have you stop breathing if I'm shooting you. You break into my house, there may or may not be something waiting for you that is going to attempt to have you stop breathing. That's the whole point. So I'll take, you know what? I'll say AR-15 for, man, I'll take both of them, dog. Why not? It's America, right? I'll take both, dog. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll take the AR-15 for more accuracy, and I would take the AK for more of the what's that word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, man? Pray and spray. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hey Risa, I just got your text message. I'll check it out and see what it's about here in a few. Let's see. Kramer. I was here when Katrina hit and left 2 years later for bait. God damn, Kramer. Didn't Katrina happen in 2005, bro? Good night. How was it for you guys out there? I mean, I'm sure it was fucking horrible. And what I don't get, y'all, why didn't you leave? Here's my biggest question: why the hell didn't the people leave when they knew Katrina was coming? I mean, they had enough advance warning to say, hey, you know what? I'm chucking deuces, homie. A lot of the people I know, they ended up coming over here to Houston at the time. But I mean, we were out in the field, and unfortunately, we didn't get activated. I think they activated the 100, not the 101st. What's they called? They activated the 82nd to go help out with that shit out there. Fucking Katrina was rough, man. Palfy says, "What's the topic for tonight?" Palfy, it's open forum, baby. Whatever y'all want to talk about, I am here for whatever you guys want to do. Q&A, let's Q&A it. You guys want to talk about a topic? Let's talk about a topic. It's open forum. Whatever we want to discuss, I only ask that you guys tap on that like button. That's all I'm asking y'all. Please tap the like button. Let's see. A few years ago, we got hit by Ida head on, and she was another Cat 5. God damn. I mean, there's certain reasons, there's also reasons why the insurance or cost of living out there in Louisiana is so much. I mean, because think about it. If you want to insure a home out there or insure your vehicle, you're going to be paying a nut and a half out there, bro. So I couldn't live out there. I love going to NOLA. I'm not going to lie. I fell in love with NOLA the first time I went out there. And this is back when I still drank and partied. Man, oh man, did I have a good time out there. I even got suckered by one of those damn psychics out there, man. Yeah, they got them out there, those psychics. I was about 3 a.m. We were walking around the French Quarter, and it was right in front of that big ass church. And homeboy was like, "Hey, let me talk to you," blah blah. And then next thing I know, I gave him like I don't know, maybe $15 or something. But honestly, it was more along the lines of I like helping people out, man. So no wonder my dad loves cocos and garrobos. Ever eat them? Yes. Yes, I have. For those that don't know, a garrobo is basically a male iguana. All right. And yes, I have eaten them. I have eaten iguana. Iguana is some of the finest dining I've ever had, fresh from the river. These kids would go out to the river out there. They would take what's called an ondilla. Over there, they call them an ondilla. Okay. In Mexico, they call them retraseros or something like that. But it's basically a slingshot. All right. And these motherfuckers are deadly accurate with those slingshots. So homeboy caught a iguana that was on top of a rock sunbathing, hit it, popped his head open, and was selling it. I think I bought it for like 10 colones back then. And I had my Aunt Adriana, rest in peace. My Aunt Adriana just passed away this year in Jan. But I mean, she cooked it up for me. It was crazy because she just put that bitch inside el horno and just started frying it. And motherfucker was like hopping and popping and shit. Oh man, I'm getting mouth watery already. Motherfuckers be eating everything out there, man. Let's see, the Iran Contra scandal. I don't know enough about the Iran Contra scandal except about that it was a way that we were funneling money in order to get drugs and have a proxy war all at the same time with Nicaragua, supporting the Contras by selling arms to Iran or something of that sort. Either way, it was funding, and it was not good. And I remember it happening. I remember seeing Oliver North on trial, and then it was just a trip. But of course, all it is basically the government doing government things. You know what I'm saying? Why don't I trust the government? Because I seen the government do a thing or two. So yeah, Iran Contra is just basically kind of what's happening over there with Ukraine right now, where except nowadays we don't even hide it. Nowadays we'll just go ahead and send them our arms, and we're giving the money to our manufacturing companies here, which are all owned by whom? BlackRock. I played a video earlier on the live where the homie, what's his name? RFK Jr. broke it down. So I'm telling you, man, that's some crazy, crazy shit out there. Let's see. 818. What's a garrobo? 818. Cruz, I just answered that. It is an iguana, a male iguana. Let's see. Iguanas. It's different out there. It is, big dog. It is. Sorry, it was on the phone blowing up the post office. Man, you do not want to put those words together, Nick. Post office and blowing up does not sound well or good. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so, man. I would really, really, really appreciate it. All right. Hella iguanas near the water. Yeah, there is all over the place, man. Iguanas be all over the place. You know what? In you want to see a bunch of iguanas? Go to Florida. When I lived in Florida before I joined the army, you take Alligator Alley is what it's called. That highway takes you to the Everglades, and you'll see a bunch of iguanas on the side of the road. Man, you can just pull over and try to grab a motherfucker, and they get big, dog. They get real big. Oh man. So let's see. So I take not all Southern California can do the tongue slap. I don't even know what the tongue slap is, so I'm not even gonna attempt that. That sounds like some of that D Kane type shit where he call himself cute and shit and sexy. I don't know about all that, homeboy. Hey, 818 and Zane. Okay, he's just tapping in. Let's see what else we got over here. Man, HHB rolled the fuck out when Katrina was coming in. Shit. Well, we didn't. We were stuck out there, from what I recall. Palfy, correct me if I'm wrong, because we were in Alpha 277 FA, and out here in Hood, and I don't remember rolling out. I remember we stayed out there, so I don't really recall. Cruz said, "Oh, we got people who eat those here too, but I myself never tried." 818 and good catch on the no Diddy gun line. Always, homeboy, always head on a swivel. Let's see what else we got going on over here, y'all. Man, these now I see what these other YouTubers talking about when they go live. This shit just flies up. AR's Kramer says AR-15 better for accuracy, but AK for power. Facts. But then again, at the end of the day, you put a bullet in the center mass and anybody is gonna stop them. Sadie, get out of there. Sorry, y'all. My dog's trying to get into places. No problem, Cruz. Take your time, big dog. Let's see. What do we got here? Anti-ghetto. UM. I don't know, homie. I don't know what that means right there. My swords are fucking sharp. Break into my house and you're not leaving. Hey, man. I get it. You got to do that Game of Thrones sometimes, you know? Shit. Can you imagine the balls that people had back in the days when they used to fight like that, like, go berserker style, like the Vikings, and just be all over it, slicing and dicing each other up? Oh my God, these dogs, I hate them. Yeah, I left in 07. I didn't leave because my grandma didn't have a way, so I stayed. Now, okay, I got you. I see what it is, pimping. It's all gravy. Let's see. Dubs and Man Cave went live just now. No Diddy, I'm back. All right, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, they're doing that. I think they're playing Black Ops 6 or whatever it is. I don't have that yet, so I'm staying off that for a bit until I get it. I don't have a camera up, but I have a mic. If you want to jump on and talk storms with you, we could do that. But right now, I just want to keep it on the solo tip for now. We'll jump it through though. And what it's like going through. Yeah, no doubt. We'll definitely talk about that, homeboy. Right now, it seems like this chat is live though. We had a Typhoon Marmar here in Guam last year, and that bitch put us in the dark ages for what it felt like a year. But I mean, let's be real. What's the dark ages nowadays? No fucking Wi-Fi. That could really be. Now, if it's telling you don't have any water, no plumbing, because the last time we had that here was in Texas when we had that freeze back in 2021, I think it was. Now that, my friend, we in the middle of winter, fucking freezing out here in San Antonio. Fuck the dumb shit. Yeah, my dad would hunt the garrobos like that, but he said they lean to the other side to avoid getting hit. It could be, big dog. Yeah, bro. I said I wanted to know what it was like to live in the old days, but that's not what I meant. I feel you on that. Oh man. What else we got here? I thought I saw. Did I miss a question here or a comment? Hey, if I'm missing y'all, forgive me because this thing is fucking flying on my end. So let's see. Whoa, that's the Pepe gun line. Show some respect for Big Peps. That fool's crazy. Yeah, definitely, Kramer. We could jump on and do a podcast together. It's been a while, man, since we were on here. So, you still eat flor de sote or loroco? I don't like loroco in my pupusas. I'll tell you that right now. Loroco to me is overrated. It's nasty. Do not put that in my pupusas de queso, dog. And flor de sote, I never, ever liked it. We had some neighbor across the street from where I grew up at back home in LA that had the fucking plant that grows that flor de sote. So every time it grow out, my dad, being the salvi that he is, will go grab his ladder, go grab his machete, and go cut that shit up and make that shit into a soup. Fucking gross, bro. Fucking gross. Jay said, bro, in high and tight, what's up? It's not high and tight. It's just a high fade. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like that, I guess. I'm just, my kids won't let me go bald headed anymore. So I miss being bald headed, man. I miss being fucking bald headed. That's one thing I can say. They don't show the islands no love when it comes to storms. Shit. They don't show anybody. This is active chat today. What happened? I feel you, dog. Hey, I love it. Damn, I'm late again. Roland, you ain't late, baby. You on time, dog. It's all gravy. Damn, bro. Is it hot in Texas? Got that shortcut, big dog? Oh, yeah. It's hotter than, dude, it's fucking hot. And it's not just hot, it's just fucking humid, bro. It's fucking humid. No doubt. It'll be right here, Nick. Pelon. I wish, dog. I really, really wish. You knew me when I was bald headed. You know what I'm saying? And I stayed bald headed all through the military. Even before the military, I was bald headed. I was bald headed from around 16 on up, but I had to grow my hair out in order to get jobs here and there, Let's see. What do we got here? Why don't they like a beautiful bald head? I don't know, big dog. I don't know. Thoughts on the VFW? I could definitely share my thoughts on the VFW. So the VFW, right? For those that don't know, the VFW is the Veterans of Foreign War. It's a kind of a place where you can go hang out with other vets. Give me one quick sec. All right. So sorry about that. I had to yell at my dogs again. But anyways, the VFW. I came in contact with the VFW for the first time when I went to Korea. When I was out there in TDC, Tangdushan, Area 1, Camp Casey, Camp Hovey. And it was a cool place. Go in there, get a brew, cheap, hang out with other veterans. And but I will not lie to you, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth when I heard you can join the VFW without even having being a veteran of a foreign war. You know what I mean? All you had to do was be in service. So when I heard that, it kind of threw me off because I don't know. To me, it's it's a distinction that you have, kind of like a club per se. And I know that it's like nitpicking, but if you're gonna call yourself the Veterans of Foreign Wars and be an association for veterans in foreign wars, then definitely be for foreign war members only. You know what I mean? I mean, as far as membership goes. But anyways, that's just me. You still drink Marañón or Arañan? I never had an Arañan. Marañón, I never liked it, to be honest, 818. Marañón, for those that don't know, is where you get your fucking what's the shit called, bro? It's a big ass tomato looking thing that has a fucking seed that I forget the name of the goddamn, kind of like a moon shaped nut, man. So no, I don't. Hey, there are a lot of spontaneous combustion fires out there. Are there a lot? Not that I've heard of, dog. Not that I've heard of. And hopefully I don't spontaneously combust. I know that I've heard stories of people that do that. I got wrinkles on my head, look stupid, looking like a Sharpay, big dog. I feel you. What's Cola Champagne 818? Oh, did he write Cola Champagne up there? Okay, Cola Champagne. Think of it as it's a flavorful kind of almost like cream soda tasting soda. It's really addictive. It's because it's different. It's very, its flavor is just one of those like, I don't know if I like it or don't like it, but want to keep drinking it. Like I said, it's kind of like cream soda. 818, you need to lace me up on delectables, cola champan. Cola champan, man, it is pretty good, bro. I'm just saying, I've gone to a few different states and I've seen shit post to include the local one. Yeah, and that's the same way. Like, I mean, I went to the one in Korea. The one in Korea was pretty cool. It was, that little karaoke machine, a lot of drink, some drinking. They have one here in San Antonio. I haven't been to it yet. I was invited to it, and I might make a stop there one of these days once I get settled in with actually being able to go out. The biggest problem that I do have, not gonna lie, is people that are veterans that they can't just, how can I put this, over exaggerate their fucking stories. You know what I mean? And it's easy to call bullshit on, especially when they've been drinking. Then they start getting all rowdy and shit about how hua they are and how cool. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I want to kick back and hear some stories, but some true stories, especially from our veterans that are like from Korean War, World War II, because we're losing them like quickly. And I would love to hang out with them and just shoot the shit with them, and our Vietnam vets as well. But I haven't been to one in a while. I've been getting also invites to, what's that shit called? The Legion, American Legion, but I really haven't thought about joining that as well. No, not persimmons, dog. They're cashews. Cashews. That's what they're called. They're cashews. It's the marañón is the tomato plant looking ass thing with the cashew at the bottom. It's nasty, but they make what's called chicha. All right. If you're Central American, you know what chicha is. Specifically, if you're Salvadoran, you know what chicha is. That is a uh think of it as like pruno for the people that have been in the joint. All right. It's basically your type of liquor or alcoholic beverage that was made by the indigenous folks back in the day. And then from there, what they do, that's the chicha itself. You can make it out of corn. You can make it out of marañones. It's all about what you want to use in order to make your drink out of it. You ferment it, you put all kinds of shit in there and let it ferment. But then you also make what's called in El Salvador, they call it, the fuck is this shit called? Not, I forgot the name of it. Chaparro. In El Salvador, they call this chaparro, which is an illegal drink, because what they do is the chicha, they go ahead and they put it to boil, and they get all the vapors, go through the tubes and all that good stuff, and drip, 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 drip. You make yourself your chaparro from that, and I'm telling you, you will get a good buzz, from one or two shots. Anything more than that, you're gonna be fucked up, yo. Let's see, Fire Zone Cruise, super sweet. Yeah, cream soda. Yep. What do we got here, bro? Send a case to Guam. What's FRZ and Cruise? Or oh, for real? That's what that stands for. All right. Jay says the old heads, auxiliary ladies were cool. The younger fools like me were in some shit. Not all, but def the position at the post, and that turned me off. I feel you, dog. And again, I like hanging around people that we're all like minded. That's one thing I like hanging around. I like going to the VA when I have appointments. I like going to the VA because there's all like minded cats right there. We hang out, we'd have a good time. But once you start getting alcohol involved, I think a lot of fools just lose their composure, and they just start acting retarded. And I'm not about that life. You know what I mean? But I mean, I definitely got to go check out I definitely need to go check out one here in San Antonio. Let's see, party time. Okay. I'm back. Let's see. My friend, when he was in the war, he had the M80. If it had a chain of rounds, he got it as punishment and ended up linking it out of pride, heavy to carry. Bro, I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna have to read that a little bit slower. So my friend, when he was in the war, he had the M80, and it had a chain of rounds. He got it as punishment and ended up liking it out of pride. Heavy to carry. I'm not gonna lie to you, 818. I have no idea what a M80 is, except for the M80 fucking firework or firecracker that we used to use, like cherry bombs. Other than that, I'm not too sure, man. I'm not too sure. Maybe he's talking about the 240, the 240 Bravo. You know, that's a heavy bitch to carry, and yeah, that one's linked up with rounds as well. That's the only thing I could think of, if because I'm not sure unless he was in Vietnam and he had the M60. So I'm not 100% on that one, big dog. Are you for 420 or against? Honestly, 420. I'm all about handle your business on 420, man. I mean, let's be real. Herbalife is more. It's okay. Smoking herb is less dangerous than drinking alcohol. You know, so I think if you're gonna be all about smoking that the leños, handle it, bro. You know, I'm all about doing what you want to do as long as you do it in the privacy of your own home. Handle your business, man. Uh, Herbal up. I'm not into herb myself personally. So let's see. What else do we got? I'm pro 420 if we're talking about nugs. All right. Let's get a ride into Florida. Dude, I would love to. Once I'm off probation and once I get my motorcycle, I am down to ride, bro. I am down to ride. Shit. I'm 420 all day, says Nick. Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. Handle it. It was before the 240 Bravo. There was an M80 dog. I don't remember an M80. I remember the 60. The M60 was the one that was replaced by the 240 Bravo. Am I incorrect on that one? The 60 was a fucking, that's what the one they call the pig. But we got the 240 Bravo. Mighty Mouse 805. He said 420 all day. Hell yeah, baby. Handle it. Palfy M60 was pretty much 240 Bravo Charlie. Yeah, exactly. The M60, that bitch was, it's the one that Rambo has both hands. You know what I'm saying? Going all hard on that shit. I only smoke at home here and there. See, again, I don't have a problem with people doing what they do. You know, hey, if they want to go get fucking coked out, go get coked out. You know, but do it in the comfort of your own home. You know, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm nobody to tell you what to do with your life. Just know that there's consequences of what you do. And when you OD, that's on you. You know what I mean? So let's see. Kramer says, I'm back. Welcome back, Kramer. No, you're right. I appreciate that. I like to be right sometimes, Palfy. I think I know what I talk about here and there. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, oh man. Maybe it was the M60. I'll have to ask him. I seen pictures of him. It was a big gun. He had a long chain of rounds hanging around off the side. It was in 1989. Okay, so if it was in 89, yeah, it was probably most likely the 60. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it was probably the 60 back then. They still had it. So let's see, 240 Bravo all day long, and I'm 420 as well. You know, I wish that the government would start already implementing or allowing veterans that are living with certain mental conditions to herb up. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Let's see. Bro went high and tight. What's up? What's up, fucking baby Jesus? That's my old homie right there, one of my old soldiers. It's not a high and tight, fool. It's not the I'll release you at 1800. That's just the lighting, fool. It's the lighting. Oh man. 818, God, I appreciate it. No, no doubt, dog. I mean, whatever knowledge I can spew, I can spew. Look, man, I'm 46 years old. I've lived a hell of a life. You know, I've believe it or not, I've traveled the world literally, and I'd like to think that I know a thing or two. I carried the 3 240, but I'm a bigger dude that could move, and it about broke me up, bro. Okay, so for those that don't know, when Palfy says he's a bigger dude, he's not just talking about like big, big. That motherfucker's tall as fuck and fucking big. You know what I mean? This motherfucker is big. He's what about probably like at least 6'3", and The motherfucker is built like a tank. Well, he was back then. Now he's built a little bit, a little more on the swollen side. And I don't mean from the gym. Shout out to my homie Palfy, man. Me and Palfy had some good times in boot camp, yo. Especially when our drill sergeant would make me choke myself. Crazy motherfucker. Yeah, because for me, smoking helps my hands stop shaking and my edginess to calm down. Well, I mean, the thing is, smoking herb, honestly, it doesn't fuck with anybody. It doesn't. You've never heard of anybody smoking a bunch of herb and ODing. You never heard of anybody smoking a bunch of herb and going on a rampage or a massacre. You know what I mean? You never heard of anybody blacking out on herb and waking up like, what the hell did I do yesterday? However, you switch it with alcohol, that shit happens all the fucking time. I seen a lot of footage of the El Salvador War. It got vicious. It did, bro. It really did, unfortunately. And there were honestly probably no winners in that war if you really think about it. The ones that won were the people that had money. You know what I'm saying? So sorry was dropping a link for Dubs. Yeah, no doubt, dog. Don't trip. Let's see. It was really bad, man. It was really bad in El Salvador. And then what's worse is I had heard of kids who would find like unexploded ordnance, whether they were mines or they were mortars. And what ends up happening, one kid was out there playing with his machete, like not playing per se, but cutting like the grass, and he found an UXO or unexploded ordnance, and he was a little kid. He didn't know very much, and he hit it, and apparently hit it hard enough to where it went off. And that's kind of fucked up, man. So it's a trip. I grew horizontally after the army. That's a good way to put it, dog. I mean, you got in shape. You got in shape, Palfy. Granted, it's round like me. I mean, I got a belly on me, big dog. You know what I'm saying? My belly done grown. There's a six pack somewhere in there. I probably just scared half of y'all motherfuckers away. They do. VA just can't. Okay, no shit. Okay. Well, they need to start doing it, dog. The VA needs to start prescribing that shit, letting people fucking get that in. I would say psychopsilocybin, whatever that shit's called. That shit, what's that shit called, man? Shrooms, dog. Shrooms. No, because we were too high and hungry to go anywhere to eat. I must have missed that conversation there. Let's see. 818 says, do you remember the impact on the people in 94? The impact of the what? The of how of what impact exactly? You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you this: when I got there, you got to remember, I left LA, big city of LA, and then hit this puny town of El Salvador. And when I say puny, bro, I'm talking about very, very, very small. It used to be part of the trail that people used to take. The indigenous folks used to take from point A to point B, and they have a church there, a Catholic church that was established in the 1700s. So, you still had people that lived in what they call cantones, and a canton is actually a like more rural than being in the town. Because, well, Tenancingo itself, it's called a villa. Villa is village. So la Villa de Tenancingo, and then the surrounding, the outskirts are cantones, which is what makes part of the village. And you still have people there that live with no plumbing, no electricity. So you made me think of the Woody song 818. Okay, I don't even know what all that means. Just the war in general had to be tough on El Salvador community. Well, it wasn't just the community itself; it was just economically it destroyed them. You want to talk about post-traumatic stress? These children have it. Like anybody that was alive during the 80s living in El Salvador, they grew up listening to gunfire, witnessing murders and massacres. There was a squadron out there in El Salvador called La Escuadrón de la Muerte, El Escuadrón de la Muerte, and that was the death squad. And what they would do is they would basically creep up at nighttime to alleged guerrilla fighters or whoever they believe were supporting the guerrillas, and they would execute the whole family. The whole family. They would take them out and they would just find them buried. So it was really ruthless, man. El Escuadrón de la Muerte did not fucking play. It's horrible because you got to think about it. All after committing all those atrocities, and then now you have to pretend like nothing happened over the last fucking 10, 15 years that led to this civil war, and pick up from there. It's just horrible, man. It was great, like I said, I was 16 when I was there, and it was great seeing people picking up the pieces and trying to establish their households. Like the land that my dad had bought out there, where we made our farm. He had bought. It was just oh shit! Somebody brought up the Sombra Negra. Oh shit! I also heard about La Sombra Negra. Okay, so La Sombra Negra was more of a hit squad. The Sombra Negra, they were the hit squads targeting the gang members out there. Well, the quote unquote gang members. I don't want to call them gang members out there because they're not gang members, man. They are pretty much to me, they're more like terrorist or local terrorist organizations. They're claiming neighborhoods, they're claiming gangs that they have absolutely no knowledge about, or they claim they know some of the history, but all it is honestly people that came back from Los Angeles and brought back those ideologies over there. Did they have gangs aside from MS? Yes, they did. All right, aside from MS, because before MS, you had other just Mara, whatever, Mara this, Mara that, Mara this. Because Mara honestly it just means group, or it's. But in El Salvador, when it became Mara Salvatrucha in LA, then it got brought over to El Salvador, and then from El Salvador you started indoctrinating these kids with MS stuff. Now, for those that don't know, there's a big Salvi population out in Washington D.C., so they ended up taking that ideology that they had, taking it over to DC, and it was just it was horrible, man. That's how they spread out so much. And the thing is, you got to think about it. When MS started out, it was just a bunch of stoners. They were just a bunch of rockers, but they got tired of getting punked. They got tired of getting punked by a bunch by the Mexicans, and so the only way they could find a way to defend themselves was to pretty much click up. And if you go to the west side of LA, like go to Pico Union area, right there, go to MacArthur Park. That's where they are. They're fucking deep. So, yeah, I mean, it's a trip, man. But anyways, out there in El Salvador, the way they were doing things, and you know what? God has a plan for everybody, y'all. I'm not going to get all theatrical or theoretical. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to get all biblical here, but I'll say this. If I would have stayed in El Salvador, I probably would have been dead by now. For sure, been dead by now. You know what I mean? Because I know the footsteps I was in. When I came back from El Salvador, it was because I had got busted. I got into a fight out there with some fools from a different we'll just say from a rival area. And there was a big clash that occurred during that night. The cops fucked my ass up. Motherfucker hit me with his M16 on the back of the head, man. That motherfucker. But anyways, I got busted, and my dad wanted to leave me in jail. My dad said, leave him in jail, let him rot. Just feed him pupusas and water. Fuck it, let him learn his lesson. My mama, on the other hand, thank God for my mama. My mama said, no, absolutely not. We're sending him back to LA because if he's gonna be a fuck up, let him go be a fuck up in his own country. So, sure enough, the following week, I was on a flight back to Los Angeles, California. So, it's just a trip. It's just a fucking trip out there. Redneck Custom Woodworks. What's going on, my boy? Redneck Custom Woodworks over on the IG, showing some love. What's going on? So yeah, man, over on Normandy. Normandy, if you can find them on Normandy, you can find them on fucking fuck. Well, I don't know now. Again, I don't know. Shit has changed out there. So it was just trippy. What do we got here? I was never raised around any gangs, to be completely honest, but being the only white kid in a native community my entire life definitely made me tough. I feel you on that. Gats and rival. Hmm. You know, it's you don't have to be a gang member to be tough. You don't. You know what I mean? So when I was growing up, all right, when I was growing up, gangs were deep in my in where I grew up at. You know, whether they were black gangs or Mexican gangs. Um, so you know, as you're growing up, there's certain clicks, I guess you could say. Well, not clicks, but more like there's certain paths you can take. You know what I mean? You know, like some would just be straight up squares, as they say, or some would go ahead and you know, become taggers. Some will go the tagging route. This guy, I did tagging for a bit, and then that got played out and escalated. But so you could do that, or back then they had a bunch of party crews. So you had party crews that you know you could belong to. You had rebels. They called themselves rebels. They would dress up like literally like James Dean, rebel with big ass fucking wall, and it was just like, all kinds of shit, right? But where I um where I differed was that the friends that I grew up with were all a certain type of well, not all of them, because some of them, you know, were just cool ass kids, you know, and then you just decided which way you were gonna venture. Like I said, I started off being a tagger from a tagging crew, and then from there, you know, just escalated. But I didn't have to be a gang member if I wanted to be a tough guy. You got you where you live at is what's gonna make you who you are. And the thing is that my brothers, being that I was the youngest one in my family, the youngest one, I was the youngest of six. So um I would get beat up by my older brothers, you know, and they would tell me if you get into a fight, because I was constantly fighting the black kids. I hate to put it that way, but I was constantly fighting the blacks because we were some of the first few black families. I could tell you there were many a times where I was walking to South Park Elementary School right there off of fucking Manchester and Avalon, and it was maybe about a mile walk, and I would be fucking throwing hands because you know they were I was a skinny ass little Mexican. So they would try to punk me. And my brother Doug told me, if you get punked one time in your life, you're going to be a punk the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So the only reason that I escalated into wanting to belong to certain things was because I wanted to belong. You know what I mean? And I think that's the sense that I've always fucking felt, is wanting to belong to something bigger than myself. And that's why I ended up going the way that I did in certain things and eventually joining the military. So let's see. Bro, it was hard to find girls to date because they don't let their kids date white kids. And if they find out you are, anyways, you got 15 cousins, six uncles, four brothers waiting to catch you. You know what's funny? You say something like that because you know who's like that too? Islanders. There was this Islander chick that I thought was cute as hell back in Korea, and she was stationed out there. And I remember the Islanders had thrown a big ass party, like a big ass festival type deal, where all the Islanders got together. You know, Samoans, Micronesians, all the Polynesians were there, man. And I was trying to, you know, flirt with this one specific lady who was, you know, she was out there like helping clean up after the party was getting like closing down. So she was like closing down shop, you know, putting stuff away. And I told her, oh, you know, let me help you out and blah blah blah. She's like, no, 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 I got this. I was like, oh, okay, you sure? You know, I'd like to get to know you better. And she's like, no, that wouldn't be good. You know, they're very protective of me. And at that point, I understood. I was like, okay, I got you, no problem. You know what I mean? So, long story short, if I was gonna try to talk to somebody from the Polynesian persuasion or Islander group, I will definitely speak to their family members first, or brothers, because Usos don't fuck around. I'd rather be a Usos friend than their enemy. I'll just say that. Let's see. Party crews were getting active at the house party. Bro, party crews were fucking we used to go to DPs back in the day, ditching parties, and that shit was fucking it was fucking crazy, man. There used to be on Channel 11, on Fox 11 in LA, they used to have this guy that used to go out and find like the tag bangers or the DPs and stuff like that, ditching parties. Like Fox Undercover, that's what it was called. And dude, he came down to one of the DPs we were at, bro. There was a fight that got, oh my god, dude, it was just fun. The 90s were fun, bro. Yes, we know you are Zane Cruz. Let's see. I haven't seen a homie cholo gangster tagger since living in Texas. I've only seen them here in San Anto when I go towards like the South Side area. You know what I mean? Like you'll find them. It's not like it was back home, dog. Because I know you're out there from Oxnard, so you know how it is. It's active as fuck out there, or it was back then. I don't know how it is now. I'm just from my memory. So I expect, when I went back to LA, for example, when I went back home, I remember cruising through the old neighborhood. I'm like, where the fuck are the homies at, dog? Because usually we would post it up either in the alley right there on 87th or on 88th. Somewhere around that vicinity, we'd be, just kicking it. And my house at the time when I was there, my house was the spot where all the homies kicked it at every fucking day. My parents hated that shit. But anywho, getting back to it, you will find some gangsters here, like the Cholo type gangsters, down south a bit, dog, a bit. But I will say that a lot of them now, you're gonna trip out here. AV, check this out. A lot of these fools are a bunch of fucking Edgars, fool. Like they have that fucking that Edgar haircut. They look goofy as fucking. I'm not gonna say that they're not like certified fucking badasses, but it's hard for me to take them serious though. Like that fool D Kane, he's from here in San Antonio supposedly, and he goes to the mall where I tend to go to. And I'm too old for that type of bullshit, but I would like to spit to that little kid a little bit and see where the fuck his head is at, Because I tell you, oof, some of these kids, a lot of them también, they seem to follow more like the black crowd. You know what I mean? Like they talk more like the blacks do versus how the essays did. But I think from what I've seen, when I see dubs or when I see gunners, like when they're going with their videos, or not even that, when I see there's this fool, if you guys haven't followed him, there's this fool called Rodney in LA. He's a YouTuber. And like he goes out to all the fucking quote unquote active neighborhoods to, ride his bike around there and talks to them and all that shit. But at the end of the day, these gangsters are not the gangsters that we remember, at least in my opinion. So let's see. Bumping music that was called House. I seen some of those news coverages. I might have seen you. I wouldn't doubt it, dog. I wouldn't fucking doubt it. That was back in 1990 fucking 92, 93 era. Man, those were some good fucking time, man. Good fucking times. Yeah, like the party crews, they would go out there. It was cool, man. You would go to like the DPs and shit, and they had girl party crews like Las Coquetas, Las Juguetonas. There were all these other ones, like, right? And they would go out there and start dancing and shit, and then we'd be like, take it off, take it off, take it off. Hey, I was a teenager at the time. I was okay doing that shit. I'm just saying. Those party crews and those party days were badass, man. And they weren't about killing each other. They were just out there having a good time. But of course, with everything, it starts escalating. Then that's when you had the fucking tag bangers come into play. And that's when things like flip for me. Like once it started becoming tag banging, I was done. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. We're gonna escalate. Let's escalate it. And because I remember Swack had just gotten killed. Swack lived in my neighborhood out there, like because KMTs were all right there in the neighborhood where I grew up in. So, anyways, moving on. I know D Kane is from El Salvador, and I do want to put this out there. Look, man, He is not a good reflection of what Salvies are like. Please do not compare all the Salvies to that genius D Kane. I sent you a clip of the only color new in your personal Facebook Messenger. Oh, Cholo. All right, let me see what you got here. Let me check it. It better not be a picture of me, fucker. Oh man, let's see. This fool. You a fool, Palfy. Hey, what the heck? Give me a second. Oh my God. Have kids, they said. I got 3 kids, y'all. 2 girls and a boy. The girls, Dios mío. Oh man. So, anywho, what else are we talking about, fellas? What else are we talking about out there? You know, what else is big in the world right now? I remember they had music stores before. A boom boom. Everybody say yeah, yeah. Oh my God, this fool said a boom boom boom. Now let me hear you say wayo wayo. Dun 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 da 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 da. I remember that shit, dog. Oh my God, bro. Music stores back in the day, you would go to like the Sam Goody. You would go to well, mainly Sam Goody in the mall or Tower Records. Let's see. What's the best thing about being a dad, bro? The best thing about being a dad is watching your children grow and seeing you influence them, seeing them become from little people to their own little people, you know, and it's scary to know that one day they're no longer going to depend on you. And granted, that's what the end state that we want is that they don't have to depend on you anymore. But I tell my kids, like my daughters are always going to be my baby girls no matter what. No matter what, you know. Um it comes with hardships as well, of course. You know, as far as like school drama cuz kids are mean now. They're fucking vicious, you know, and I don't think that that's changed. What's changed is the way you're able to handle it. Cuz again, growing up in the 80s, growing up in the 90s, you were able to fucking throw hands and there was no issue with it. But nowadays the schools have made it so you can't throw hands or it's assault. And you could actually fucking ruin somebody's life with that. You could potentially send somebody to prison, to jail, or the juvenile hall, or fuck up their life by having a record because they threw hands and defended themselves. Yet back in the days, it was something that it was like code of the schoolyard type shit, you know. I only have 1 year left with my daughter, and it's terrifying. I know, dog. I mean, I can't believe how time has flown by, dog. You know, it's amazing to me how time has just flown by and our kids are becoming adults. And what kind of a world are we living them? You know what I mean? So, hey, no problem, man. I appreciate you being here, Nick. Thanks for being up here for a while. Oh shit, it's been an hour and 8 minutes already. Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all being here with me today. You guys have yourself a good night. It's already what 7:22. I got to start getting things ready for these kids to go to bed. So let's see. Did you catch Dub's video on Hector Bravo situation? He spoke. Man, that video right there immediately took me to my last deployment. My last deployment that I did was the one where I literally broke down. You know what I mean? Before I would always put that like the first 2 times that I deployed, I put on that strong face, like, hey, be right back, no problem. But it's because I didn't have kids yet. You know what I mean? But that last deployment to Afghanistan, I honestly didn't think I was gonna make it back. You know, so because you know you're rolling the dice, and it's sometimes it's about statistics, you know, or the laws of what is that shit called? A probability, right? So being my third deployment, I thought that I might get taken out on this one, especially with all the green on blue that was going on back then. But luckily, my situation was different than a lot of other people out there. I didn't see any combat while I was out in Afghanistan, and I'm okay with that. Would I have loved to have done my job out there as a field artilleryman and blow some Hajis up? Hell yeah! Unfortunately, my mission was to train up the Afghan field artillery to let them become uh self sustaining, which, as you can see, didn't work out. But with that said, man, I'm gonna end it on that. Y'all have yourselves a good night. We'll do this again tomorrow if y'all want. We'll go at 18:30 again, Texas time. Y'all have a good night, man. Thanks for being here with me. And the last message says, dude, I don't carry my side piece anymore because the DA here in OKC, they tried to stick me in jail when a homeless man attacked me at a gas station. Self-defense doesn't exist anymore, I guess. Fuck yeah. uh I mean, you do got to match, I would say, force with force. You know what I mean? Now, if he had a weapon and he was attacking you with it, then pop a cap in that motherfucker. But I mean, if it's just him coming at you with fisticuffs, you got to use fisticuffs, baby. But with that being said, I'll holla at y'all later, y'all. Thanks for being here. Rounds complete. End of mission. Gun line out. I'm out of here, y'all. Cannon fire for you. Deuces.